Hi babies, it's your girl Lex and welcome back to my channel. So today's video is really impromptu. I'm in my chill clothes. I'm about to go to the Beauty Supply store and get some hair dye. But I've gotten a lot of requests for this video and I figured I had some spare time, so I might as well just come on and do it. And if you can't tell by the title, it is how to get hired or how to get a job at MAC Cosmetics. I think since I posted my MAC Get Ready With Me, you guys have really been asking for a lot of MAC related videos. So I figured I would just use this one as an introduction. It's not going to be long, at least I don't think. It's not super organized. I will be doing more MAC related videos in the future and kind of talk about my personal experience and just different things about the company. But I figured I would come and show you guys, you know, what I tell girls who come to me and girls that I know when they ask me about how to get a job at the company. So first things first, I would highly recommend knowing why you want to be a MAC girl. There are a lot of misconceptions about what MAC Cosmetics is and what we do as MAC makeup artists. I think a lot of women think that, and guys too, think that, you know, you're playing in makeup all day and you're beating faces left and right and you're getting free product and you're learning techniques, all of which are true. But at the end of the day, MAC is still a retail job. So know that you will be working in retail. And if retail is not for you, then MAC Cosmetics is not going to be for you. We are gold. You have sales goals that you have to meet. And honestly, MAC kind of takes retail experience over makeup experience, because then they feel like they can teach you how to do makeup, but it's kind of hard to teach someone how to be a salesperson, you know what I mean? So know why you're with the company, because that's why a lot of people end up leaving MAC, because it's not necessarily what they expect it to be. But if you know going into it, you know what you want out of the experience, I think that will definitely help. You know, as most videos will tell you, the process of getting hired is not an easy one, nor is it a short one. But I would say no matter when you're going or where you're going, make sure you come prepared. So even when you're coming in to drop off your resume, make sure you're in all black, make sure your face is beat, and please, please, please make sure you know something about the company. At least know who the founders are. They're the two Franks, Frank Tolskin and Frank Olson. Don't quote me. It's the two Franks. Do your research, honey. Know about Viva Glam, which everyone should know about. 100% of the selling profit of all Viva Glam products goes to the MAC AIDS Fund. Know something about the company that will really wow whoever you're speaking to, because you really don't know who you're talking to. There are a lot of times that our higher ups will be on counter with us working girls, and people will come in and not know necessarily who they are. And knowing, you know, once you get into the company, the hierarchy of how MAC works, you'll kind of think twice about how you approach some people, because you may go to a counter that you frequent and you may be nasty to someone whose face you may not be familiar with at your local store, and then you might try and get a job there and find out that they're actually the MRO or, you know, the manager's manager, and you put a bad taste in their mouth. So please, please, please always be prepared when you come to MAC. Also, you really want to know the products, so play around at your local counter, get some samples, go online and look at the product specs on the MAC website. They are really good with that. So the key usages, the key ingredients, all that good stuff. Make sure you have a good understanding of MAC products and how they work. When it comes to foundations, know the coverages, know the finishes, like really do your research. That is what will put you apart. Like, I know for me, one of the things that stood out for me is that I knew almost every damn thing about the products. Like, my product knowledge was pretty amazing, to the point where all the managers that I interviewed with, they knew that about me. And, you know, that says a lot. It says that you really want the job, and that, you know what you're talking about. And that when you get the job, you'll be able to sell the product because you know what you're talking about. It's best to just have like a product in mind. If they ask you what your favorite product is, that you can easily talk about and try to do something different. Like, I know I'll be doing like my favorite MAC products and like my holy grail products soon. I just need to go shopping one last time. But choose something that's kind of like out of the norm. I know a lot of people go for mineralized skin finish or like Studio Fix Fluid, but picking a product that may not be as known will really give you some brownie points. Like, I'm trying to put you on game, girl. I will also recommend frequenting your local stores or counters or wherever it is that you're going to be applying. Having someone in your corner is always a plus. Having someone that can vouch for you and say, oh, hey, I know so and so, or hey, she comes in, or hey, I know she knows our products. And like, when you first get an inkling that you want to work for MAC, make sure every time you go, your face is on. And I don't mean like oh, I have on a brow and some gloss. I mean like on. And granted, not every MAC girl has to have like a full on caked up highlight contour every day, fish face beat for the gods every single time, but it is nice to show a range of variety and make sure that you're always put together. So even if you're running errands, if you know you're going to be applying for that counter and you know you look a hot mess, just don't go that day. Like, go ahead and skip it. Just go ahead and skip, because we talk and we peep game. Like, everyone at MAC knows when someone is trying to work we know when someone's trying to work their way in. So please make sure when you come to slay. Now I'm gonna give you a little bit of a backstory or of how the process typically goes. When being hired or in the hiring process for MAC, you're gonna do at least 3 interviews. Typically you're gonna do an initial interview when you give someone your resume, or depending on if you're going to like a job fair or something like that, you might do a group interview. Then they may have you do a separate interview, and then you're gonna be doing the makeup interview. And getting hired, when you're doing the makeup interview, please make sure that you are clean, you are neat, and that you are timely. I know for me personally, again, I'll get into my story in a later video, but the final time I did a makeup interview that I actually got hired, it was really lax. Like, no one was really on me about time. Like, I kind of just did my thing, but that's not always the case. Like, it's actually rarely the case. So make sure that, you know, you're practicing on a model. They might switch it up on you. So if you're used to doing one person's face in particular that you're going to bring with you, make sure you practice on someone with a different face shape, because if you're in a group setting, they might switch models on you just to throw you off your game and see how you like respond. But practice. The makeup interview is a key portion, like a major key. Now, they're not always going to be super critical, because like I said, they do prefer sales experience over makeup experience sometimes, but you do want to make sure that you can at least, you know, make someone look decent. Oh God. Also with that makeup interview, make sure you pull skincare. Like, I know a lot of videos, they won't necessarily get into that, but please make sure you pull skincare. That is like the best way to get brownie points. Make sure you pull a moisturizer, a serum, or something of that sort in addition to a primer. And no, Fix Plus does not count, but please pull that too, but that doesn't count as your moisturizer. Also, depending on how it's set up, they may have you recreate a look from a picture, or they might tell you a look and tell you to like recreate this, or like give me this. Be smart. Try and pick things that you can use for multiple areas of the face. That way you're not using a lot of products and making a mess and using a whole bunch of brushes, because it is something that they do look at. You have to remember, MAC, although there are 1,000,001 brands out right now trying to come for their spot, MAC is the premier brand for makeup, and we are backstage at shows. And that is translated from the key artists who are at Fashion Week all the way down to us lowly store artists and counter artists. So you want to make sure that you not only have like an Instagram makeup reference, but you also have some high fashion reference, because you never know what type of look you might be asked to recreate. I'm just going to throw this in there. MAC hates Instagram brows. Now, you know I love my arched brow, but MAC is very much an editorial company. So when you're in front of the higher ups, they don't really like the heavy drawn in brows. So keep that in mind when you come. Stay true to who you are, but definitely do what you have to do to get where you want to be, okay? I'm trying to think. I don't want to miss anything. Make sure you wear all black. Oh, also, if you have a portfolio, please bring it with you. That is like the icing on the cake. If you've done work and you've done, you know, photo shoots or something like that, put it in either a physical book, or I know for me, I brought an iPad, so I had like an e-portfolio. Bring it so they can see your work and what you do, because that way they know that they don't really like, I'll say this. So with MAC Cosmetics, you can either be a permanent artist or a freelance artist. Freelance artists are typically those who they see potential in but need more grooming before they feel comfortable making them permanent artists. Or you can choose to be a freelance artist if you know you have a hectic schedule and you kind of just want to work when they need help. That's how the freelance system works. You can work at any MAC Cosmetics, whether it be a counter or a store, when you're a freelance artist, but there is a cap on how many hours you can work per week. Freelance hours aren't always guaranteed. That's why most women, or people in general, want to be a permanent artist with the MAC because you have set hours every week and you don't really have that security as a freelance artist. Now, with being a permanent artist, you can have anywhere from 10 hours a week to 40 hours a week, but typically 30 to 40 hours are reserved for like higher up management and those seasoned artists who have been there for a while. Those are really the only full-time artists that are at max. A lot of people have gotten picked for jobs over other people because of that makeup experience, and they were able to actually show them a visual representation of their work because they knew that there was less training that they had to give them. So depending on your experience and what you bring to the table, that might play a part in how many hours you get in being a MAC artist. I will say that not all MACs are created equal. Like, working at a counter is different from working at a store, and working at a counter at a Macy's is different than working at a counter at Nordstrom. I personally am at a counter at a Macy's. I love it. I work for MAC and I'm under Macy's, but I don't really work for Macy's. Whereas Nordstrom, you are a Nordstrom employee as well as a MAC employee. So you have to do things the Nordstrom way. Whereas Macy's, we're kind of like in our own little entity over here. And then the MAC store is like the big leads. You are in the official freestanding store. So there's a little bit more pressure on you to perform than there is at the counter. You're still gold, but depending on how high of a grossing store or counter you're in, that dictates how much they're expecting you to bring to the table. Prepare for long hours. Like I said, this is a retail job, especially in holiday. Holiday gets crazy. Like, my first holiday, I was pregnant, and I was big and pregnant. So it was really interesting, but I will say that this is probably the best job that I've ever had. Again, I'm a 15-hour artist, so I'm not there all the time. I'm there 3 days out of the week, and I freelance and do YouTube when I'm not there. But like, I love my job and the people that I work with. You know, not everyone has had such great experiences with MAC, but I honestly, at this point in time, there's nothing negative that I could say about the company. I've been with MAC for a little over a year, so I am a baby. You can tell I'm a baby in the company, but shoot your shot. If you've wanted to be a MAC girl, go for it. Like, I don't think that there's any other job out there that will allow you to work on your artistry, gain experience, and make really good money all at the same time. I don't know if you've noticed, but a lot of the Instagram greats and YouTube greats were MAC artists at some point in time. So I think that has a lot to say about how great the company is and how they're able to see potential in people, because there's a reason why almost everyone who has a name or a strong following on Instagram or YouTube used to be a MAC girl. But you know shade. I don't think I can think of anything else right now, so I'm just gonna leave this here. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sure I left a lot out. I will be doing a follow-up video if you guys enjoyed this one. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below. As always, I love you guys so much. Happy job hunting, and I'll see you in my next video.